right, everybody, and what's up? We are at the Welcomable Podcast. I'm here with Gary Lamb, and we are
What's up?
here.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, brother? You all right?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Been cranking
What have you
out the
been up
videos.
to? Yeah, dude. I saw
Cranking
you
out
up.
the
You were
videos.
on. You were on at like 3 a.m. last night.
Yeah. Well,
I
see,
mean,
listen,
you
man.
driving
I
around
couldn't.
North. Like I didn't. You were out
Well,
driving around. I was
that's
like,
the
what is this
time.
crazy person doing?
That's the time that I want to be up, man. That's when nobody's up. I got the whole world to myself. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
could just be
dude. I know
myself,
it
man.
is.
What up, chat? How everybody doing? What up, Boats Nose? Cyber, what's up, man? What up, Bot? How's everybody doing?
How is everybody? So we are here today. We are gathered here today in the presence of Gary Lamb and Unwelcomable to talk about the Twitter files, to talk about
Yeah,
what Barry
boy.
Weiss came out with today. So before we do that, please like, subscribe, share the channel. Please share this video right now. We don't have enough people in this chat. We don't have enough people in here. So I'll tell you right now, my channel, if you are on my channel, come on over. Well, don't leave Gary's to come to mine. You can bounce back and forth. You can bounce back and forth if you want. But I'll tell you this. My channel is shadow banned real bad. So share the channel, share this video, let everybody know we're out here talking, that we need an audience. We ain't doing this for nobody. You know what I mean? But hey, thanks for joining me, Gary, today. Again, we're like we said last time, we're gonna make this a regular deal. We're gonna 3-4 times a day if we can get to it, because this is what we both want to be doing for a living.
Well, it's based off of the news. If the nose is hot, we'll come. You know what I mean? Because right now this is, basically, I want to do this full time and stuff like that. But there are still things, unfortunately, that I have to take care of in my real life, and it's not easy to be up here 3 times. It gotta get into it. Once a day would be awesome if we can get in the studio or we actually get in the same environment. That'd be perfect because everything will be set up. I can do the artwork and everything like that, and you can do, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways we can make this work. But Twitter is at it again. Elon is at it again, dropping major dime. And I'm gonna get your take on this in a minute, but I'm gonna let you know I am not happy with what I'm seeing. This is very frightening for me because it confirms so much. Before all this stuff was coming out, you can actually pretend that maybe it's your content, maybe it's your thumbnails, maybe it's just you don't know what you're talking about. It could be anything. So you can pretend to be, let me just work it out and grind and keep it moving. And then you get to the Twitter files and you like, holy crap! Like, seriously, all this was based off of emotion. This was based off of I don't like him, I don't like her, they gotta go. That's why they have everything so bland, and it's like it's so left up to interpretation of what they mean, and then they say, well, you violated the terms and conditions. Here's the terms and conditions, and you read it, and you like, where did I violate anything?
You violated their politics, brother. You
violated their tiers.
Exactly.
I violated their tiers, and that's really what it is.
Have you ever heard of the old Mount Olympus stories? The guys, the gods who sit high atop the thing, right? Is you have this very small, very fragile group of people with a very specific political identity, right? Deciding whether or not you, me, the president of the United States, could have a platform in order to speak. We should
now.
Be
this
very,
is our
very
elected.
pissed.
This is our elected official, right? Being told he can't have a voice to talk to people that voted him into office. He can't talk to them.
Yeah, it was that exact moment was a turning point. It was a turning point in our society that you could see the reverberation. You will be able to see the reverberations of for decades and probably centuries to come, because as long as this country is still here. But it seems like these people believe that they're above the law, they're above the First Amendment, they're above the Constitution, they're above it. It does piss me off as a creator, because I'm somebody, I have documentation. Again, I've made it to 20 1,000 Twitter followers 18 times. Okay.
18
I've had
times.
people come and tell me that they've been, I've blocked them when I didn't block them. I've had people come to me and tell me that, I've unfollowed them when I didn't unfollow them, or they unfollowed me when didn't happen. And I got, 20 some thousand followers, which is good, for a normal person, but it's not huge account. What I think is going to come out about these Twitter files that people don't know. The real story is going to be not in what they do, even to President Trump, which is a whole separate thing. We can get into that. But what they do to the common man. And it just makes you wonder what they're doing to us right now on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know what they're doing to my channel. I have the same kind of reports coming from my YouTube channel, which is, I was on the phone with them. I was on the phone with Google and all that. Like, and they were like, no, we've seen, where it's, you blocked this person, but they're not blocked now. And that unsubscribes them, and I don't know whether it's a hacker, but it seems to me that the most likely culprit is Google itself.
Yeah, it has to be. Listen, look, the right now, with what's going on in Twitter, right? You cannot tell me the same thing is not going on Facebook. You can't tell me the same thing is not going on in YouTube. You cannot tell me the same thing is not going over onto Google. You cannot tell me that is not happening. I don't agree. I don't believe it. You cannot tell me that my viewership is going up, but my subscriber base is going down. You can't tell me that. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. Now, we have bots and we're trying to scrub the bots. Now, if that is in fact the case, that you're scrubbing bots, what are you going to tell your advertisers when they ask you how much?
Right.
Because they think about this. How many of your viewers are fake? Because if you're saying that these are all bots that you're getting rid of, are you overcharging your customers?
That's fraud, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fraud. That's all that is fraud. So here we go. We got the situation of you're either scrubbing them on purpose so you can keep us not being able to talk, right? Because I think they're scrubbing the major ones, right? The ones that's going to actually do the sharing and stuff like that, so they won't see your content anymore, right? So it's either that or you have no control of your algorithm, which is a major problem. If you don't have control of your algorithm, because let's face it, it's a computer system, right? It might be thousands and thousands and thousands of lines of code just to find that one particular part that's making the algorithm go nuts. And if you can't find it on a manual basis, you won't be able to catch the algorithm, right? It's either that or you have too many bots. So that means that your whole system is compromised. How are you getting all these bots, bro? Where they coming from?
I don't know.
Creating all these bots.
Well, here, let me tell you something. You can go in, and I actually posted it because I see this thing on Twitter a lot. And there's actually an account on Twitter that I caught and I have busted out. It's called America Unwoke. Okay. And this freaking channel. Okay, this our channel, this page on where am I at? Twitter. This Twitter profile.
Right.
Started in late October. All right, get this. It started in late October. It had posted 15 tweets. Within that time, from late October into like late November, so not even a month, 18,000 followers, 15 tweets. And the tweets were useless. They were not even like, just random memes. But then the tweets would get like 3,000 retweets. And I'm like, and I go back and that kind of stuff pissed me off. So I went in and just started, okay, who's retweeting this? First of all, I have one of the older woke, unwoke accounts that actually has that name in the algorithm. We had no friends in common, right? We had no nobody that they were sharing were anywhere older than two or 3 months. And they were all bots. And so I traced this account back. To a PR firm. And what they do is they literally go in and they buy.
PR firm.
Yeah. PR firms go in, and if they want control of a space, because I piss people off on both the right and the left. Just so you know, you watching me, My people know I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered independent. I'm a conservative, right? And I piss people off equal opportunity. All right. And I'm kind of pissed off tonight, so you're going to see a little bit of that. But just because this stuff pisses me off, but I'm equal opportunity when it comes to pissing people off. And I went out and I tracked this to a kind of establishment PR, Republican PR firm, trying to take a hold of this unwoke space because they have policy prescriptions they want to sell. And it's just like, who's running the account though? You know what I mean? So it not only is it fraud on Twitter's part, or fraud to Twitter, right? It could be fraud by Twitter, right? And it's fraud on the mind, because when this person gets to 200,000 followers, who people are going to start looking to them for advice or looking at them for news. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the shit that pisses me off. I'm sorry, I'm a little salty now, but it's like, that's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off, because I worked hard on my, you worked hard on your YouTube channel.
This is hard work. This is not easy.
It is.
This is hard work. You have to learn everything from thumbnails all the way down to the content, how to keep them on the YouTube video, how to keep them entertained, how to keep them engaged, how to get them to interact. All that takes time. And every single piece have to be done individually. See, there's a lot of people don't understand. It's not just throwing up a video, right? It's not just throwing up a video. You have to be able to catch the person's eye. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to keep their attention. You have 3 seconds at best to get their attention. 3 seconds. If you don't get that 3 seconds, they're gone. They're gone.
You got to stay here, guys.
3
don't
seconds.
Leave the channel. Don't leave the channel.
No. That's it. This is a different situation. They're not going to leave here. They may not be able to get here because they don't know about it, but they're not going to leave once they're in. Because my audience is pretty loyal. But let's get into these Twitter, man. Let's get into these files.
Yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Dude, we've got a lot of people watching right now.
Yeah.
Do you see the count? I just want to point that out.
14. I'm seeing 14 on my end.
I'm seeing 461. What is going on right now? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You see 461.
Yeah, it may be. I need to go check YouTube, but I don't know what's going on. Holy crap.
You see 461.
What up, guys? If you're here, chat into the chat. If you don't just watch, don't just lurk. If all this is real. But yeah, let's get it. Let's see, but that's the thing too. And here's the other part about this. I just want to point this out. I've seen documented cases of people spamming people, they'll pay for just to knock down a channel, because YouTube will often, try to keep people off for fake engagement, even though these PR firms do this all the time. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that done too, but I don't know. Let's get into this. So there's no way. Sorry. This is freaking me out, Gary. You're only seeing 14 on your end? There's no way.
I'm only seeing 14 on my end.
That's ridiculous. No,
let's just keep going, brother. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. All right.
Great. Let's keep going.
All right. Let's see this. So
me and Richard, what's up? Me and Richard.
Twitter fires.
Elf Runner, what's up, baby?
How y'all doing?
I really don't. I'll interrupt you in a heartbeat for my peoples. I'll interrupt you. Don't.
You do it.
You're going to have to be bad.
You do it.
But let's go.
So here we go from Barry Weiss, the Twitter Files Part 5, the removal of Trump from Twitter. Now, hold on, Barry Weiss. You need to be calling him President Trump because he was president at the time. Come on, show some respect.
Yes, he was president at the time.
She hates Trump. She hates
Mean Richard.
Which is just
greedy.
On the morning of January 8th, President Donald Trump, with one remaining strike before being at the risk of a permanent suspension ban from Twitter, tweets twice. These are the two tweets that he sent. Okay, just so we know, we want to lay this out. All right, let's lay this out. President Trump, at this point, this is after January 6th, 2 days, right? 2 days after January 6th, he was not, talking hand over fist about a stolen election. What he was talking about was his voters that are documented, the 75 million voters, and that, the fight goes on, right? And so he did this tweet, 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. Well, that wasn't true, because right after that, he tweets out at 7:44 a.m. he won't be going to the inauguration. All right. For years, then right after that, he's gone. He's gone. So for
like,
years,
this is
Twitter
what
had,
kills me, man. He's literally talking about having freedom of speech for a very long time,
right.
and they literally silenced him. They
Yeah.
silenced him right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, like, what a, like, dude, like,
you cannot underestimate what happened here. This was a takeover. This was a takeover by a Democratic government in waiting, colluding with social media. This is the Mussolini.
I wouldn't say that. Wait a minute. I don't think I would say that, because you have a lot of snowflakes, or you had a lot of snowflakes at Twitter. They hate. Listen, here's the thing. It doesn't take much to piss somebody off that don't like you. And when they have autonomy, or unilateral decision making power in certain environments, they will utilize their power. They'll find any loophole to get rid of you. You understand? So yes, I do agree.
Yeah, but we were talking about
the
president of the United States here, brother. This
that
is a
doesn't
whole
matter.
different thing.
That doesn't matter. See,
it doesn't matter now. You got to think of them. Go ahead.
Listen, look at what they did, right? These people silenced the president. It didn't matter he was a president. They didn't like him. They didn't vote for him. They didn't like him. He's this, he's that, he's whatever, right? So they got rid of him. And then they tried to cover it up. Oh, we didn't do that. He broke the policies. Oh. It's like, come on, man. These crazy dude. It's absolutely asinine what happened to him. And it's scary as heck, because when you look at me, I'm broke. I have no money. Broke. I'm really broke.
Right.
So Trump is considered to be a billionaire. Billions. Right. And he's the president of the United States of America. And they literally said, screw you, bye.
But this is what he found out right then. He effed around and found out right then. First of all, when you lose institutional power, you've lost power. Money doesn't mean anything. Yeah, Kanye found out this way. Ye found this out too. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't own platforms, if you don't have institutions on your side, you don't have nothing, man. Yeah. You don't have nothing. And what President Trump at the time, still president of the United States, still technically the most powerful man in the world, got silenced by a merger of state and corporate power. That is Mussolini's definition of fascism. That is Mussolini's definition, the creator of fascism. He said it should be called corporatism, because what it is a merger of state and corporate power. And that is what Barry Weiss. Go ahead.
Here's what I want to say.
All right.
It wasn't like they had to twist these people's arm. They had no problem with deplatforming Trump and anybody that they disagree with. They were drunk on power. All right, drunk. All they needed was a reason. Let's read more of this stuff. This is nuts.
Yeah. So
this is insane stuff.
So what Barry Weiss is talking about here, guys, is she's talking about the inner communications at Twitter during the time where they were debating whether or not to ban Trump permanently from the site while he was still president. So that's the weird part about this too. Let me say this, is that they didn't wait until after he was gone, which would have been just 12 days later. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't wait till after he wasn't president. They made sure to do it while he was still president. That made a statement in and of itself. Okay.
Yes,
but
it did.
There were dissenters inside Twitter. Maybe because I am for China. Maybe because I am from China, said one of the employees on January 7th. I deeply understand how censorship can destroy the public conversation. So there were people inside Twitter that were saying, "Hey guys, we need to watch what we're doing.
Do this. Yeah, we might not want to do this. This might be a bad idea." Like you're shutting down Discord. You cannot shut down Discord in a free country. You can't do it. That will cause a lot of problems. People
That's
don't
right.
play
Well,
with
and
their
that's
freedom of speech. People don't play with that. And people speaking louder and louder and louder. Yes, you was able to censor us to a certain degree, right? Because
right.
a lot of us do self-censoring right now as it is, right? Because we need our
Of
platforms.
course.
And right now we don't
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to actually say what we really want to say. There's so much stuff I want to say
Mm-hmm.
on this damn thing. There's so much stuff I want to say. I can't say it. I can't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this, like case in point, the C files. I'm gonna say C files because that's all I can
Yeah.
say. I want to talk about that bad. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You took 2 years of my life away for this crap. I want to know what happened. I want to know
Right.
what
Well, and
happened.
that's come out in the Twitter files as well, though, about and I think that's what's going to come out later on. We can get to this in a minute, but
Yep.
all of this was linked. We can't divorce these things. That's what we've got to remember too. Is we've
See,
got
that's the
to
thing that kills me.
we
Everything's connected. Like it's a whole. It's like a whole. It's like the swarm.
it's a
That's what it is.
right.
It's the
No,
swarm.
it's a
It's the swarm
it's a
from
web of lies, man.
Yes. This
It's
is
a web of
brood war.
lies.
This is brood war. This is what it looked like. The brood war. They're coming from everywhere. They're just popping out of the ground and just snatching you up. That's what this looks like.
But
Anybody that know about
what
StarCraft, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
What I want people to remember, though, when they're thinking about this, when they're reading Twitter files like this, when they're reading this, you can't divorce your mind from what was going on in the moment. You have to put yourself to understand that COVID was still hot and heavy, still part of the conversation.
Right.
So what you're talking about with the C files and all that, right, was very much still in play. So
Yes.
they were operating under the fact that they had basically lied to the American public for a lot of different ways when it comes to the C word, right? And when they were using that lie that was still very much thought of as the truth at the time to justify what they were about to do to the sitting president of the United States. So this is Barry Weiss continued to her a tweet. But voices like the one but voices like that one appear to have been distinct minority within the company, which she means is she's talking about the person from China who said maybe we shouldn't censor the president of the United States. Across Slack channels, many Twitter employees were upset that Trump hadn't been banned earlier. After January 6th, Twitter employees organized to demand their employer ban Trump. There is a lot of
so wait a minute. Did you hear what did
Yep.
Did you just hear what you did? Did you
Mhm.
they demanded their boss to freaking get rid of Trump. They demanded.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. It was a struggle session. It was what you saw on the campuses starting in 2015, 2014.
Wow.
And it had graduated to Twitter and was now getting ready to affect the president of the United States. Man, I'll tell you, let me just say one thing on this. I warned people way back in 2014, 2015, when I was teaching and I just got my master's degree, and I was like, something's going wrong here, guys. And they're like, oh, when these kids hit the real world will change them. Nope.
Oh yeah. Oh no, because now they are now they're not only a melting pot of they're just a melting pot of culture, but they all think the same now. They all think the same.
No, instead of the world changing them, they changed the world, and not in a good way, because they went into a cushy place like Twitter, right? They went into a cushy place like Twitter, and where they got free lunches and they got to work from home, and there's a reason why Elon just fired all these snowflakes, right? Yeah. Because they had their run of that place.
They had red wine on tap.
Right.
Red wine on tap.
So what they did is they put the leaders of the company, the leadership, through a struggle session. They said, we want this, and a very small, very tiny minority of people silenced the president of the United States. So here's what happened. After January 6th, Twitter employees organized to demand their employer ban Trump. There is a lot of employee advocacy happening, said one Twitter employee. And so this is I'm not going to go through and read every little thing because that's going to get laborious. But let's get to the brass tacks. We have to do the right thing and ban this account, one staffer said. It's pretty obvious he's going to try to thread the needle of incitement without violating the rules. So here's the thing. What I can't stand about this is that they were giving Trump, who is the most powerful man on the planet, even more power than he had, because they were blaming him for the actions of other people. That was it.
Yes,
They were saying, oh, he's going to do, he's must some kind of, what happened, Gary? What the hell happened with, hey, you're responsible for what you do, not me.
What? Are you serious? That has been gone for like almost 20, 30 years now. Nobody is responsible for anything at this particular point. Nobody's responsible for anything. You know, you can get away with whatever you want to get away with. Oh, it's because of my upbringing. Oh, I had a stressful day. Oh, it's because he hurt my feelings. Oh, it's always some reason why they did what they did. And can you blame them? For the last how many years they've gotten away with whatever they wanted to do? All right. There's certain groups that I don't want to put on here because obviously I don't want to hurt my channel. I'm trying to get out of the sandbox. I don't want to put myself back in.
Right.
But you know the book, know the groups that I'm talking about. They were able to do whatever the heck they want, you raise all kinds of heck and do whatever the heck they want, and nobody can do anything to them. There was no chastising, they whatever. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. Complete. Continue.
And the proverb, to go back to Proverbs, since you want to throw one out, I like mine too, are, they said, train your child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. You remember that one?
Yes.
If you train your child in the way they should not go, when they're old, they won't depart from it. It goes both ways. Yes, and that goes back into what you and I have talked about, even just the couple of shows we had, is fatherhood and parenting are the keys to all of this in our society. It is if the breakdown of the family is what leads groups of brats, groups of spoiled brats at Twitter to silence the president of the United States.
And that's not the only person they silenced. They silenced
they started with
many other people. They started once they got rid of him, it was like free game. Everybody went. Everybody went. And that now you're in this freaking place, and all your ideas, none of your ideas are challenged. None of them. None of them are challenged. And the last thing you need is a place where you can all agree to be right about something without an opposing opinion. And this is why you got people that don't want to debate no more. They think that's attacking you now. They don't even want to debate. No debate.
Yeah, well, it's fragility, man. If you can't challenge your own mindset, right? How do you expect to be a part of a society where it's necessary that someone else challenge your mindset? You know what I mean? Like that, we've lost that whole ability to just be able to take a joke, even. You know what I mean?
Pause. 1 second. Pause. Get real quick. Can you just put me on the big screen? I gotta.
We're looking at your color. We're looking at your color. Hold on.
Yeah, she said. Listen, I even got my beard back. See, it's not all freaking. Remember how?
Were you losing hair or something, Gary?
A year ago? Huh?
Were you losing hair or something?
I was very sick. I wasn't healthy at all. I was just, it was a horrible situation. But I'm finally out of it. But even my hair grew back. See that, guy? See, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm about to get back in it. Well, I've been back in the gym, but I'm about to put my size back on because I lost a lot of weight. I'm like 190 pounds, 185 pounds. I'm really light right now, but I'm about to get back to 210. I'm about to do it. But back to what you were saying. Let's continue.
Yeah, well, no, everybody, look how good Gary looks. Just, I mean, when you move to Oklahoma, life gets better. You know what I mean? Everything's a little slower. Everything's cheaper.
Yeah.
You're here with Unwokeable now. You got Project 46 you're working with.
Yes,
you got all kinds of people. And
really?
That's the thing. That's the thing about Oklahoma. We got our problems. Trust me, you're going to hear about them from me if you come and subscribe to my channel and we'll keep watching us. But we're the nicest people in the world. You know what I mean? We will accept you with open arms. So if you're out there in the the abyss of a blue state, come on, just don't vote leftist if you come here. If you're going to do that, just stay somewhere else.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't want to say that.
Go ahead.
I don't like telling people what to do with their vote.
I do.
If you feel that you need to, if you feel that you are better suited to be a Democrat, vote Democrat. I'm not going to sit here and I don't give a damn as long as you do your due diligence and you research your candidate. That's the bottom line. I agree with
Yep.
what's his name? Jesse Ventura. Get rid of the title. Make
Oh yeah, no,
encourage
okay.
people.
Notice I said leftist. I didn't say Democrat. I said leftist. Right? So there's a difference between Democrats and leftists. One, but here's the thing. What I don't want to happen is because this will go into the COVID issue that we could talk about later. But there's a reason why blue states are the way they are. There's a reason why they were locked down and kept people prisoner for way longer than was necessary. There's a reason why you have homelessness and sick, I mean, literally mentally ill people living in the street, right? And when you're talking about LA and San Francisco, some of the most beautiful places on the planet used to be. Now you can't even keep a Walgreens open, right? It's because people vote out of empathy and not out of common sense. And that's a leftist mindset. And so when I tell you, come to Oklahoma, fine, but do not vote that kind of crap in here when you come, because you came here to escape that. So learn your lesson, then come. You know what I mean?
Right.
Learn your lesson, then come, because it's the people voted for that, Gary.
Yeah.
The people voted for that. The taxes you experienced in New Jersey, the people voted for that. That predates you, obviously.
It ate me alive. It ate me alive. Right. It absolutely did.
Yeah, you can't get ahead there. Like it's made to keep you down.
Yes.
It's made to keep you down. So I just wanted to point that out. That I will tell people every single day, do not vote leftist, because you're going to destroy the country. You destroy the world, really. But all right, so let's move on. So but it's also what gets you people. These are that same type of people that are here censoring the president of the United States. Okay. So in the early afternoon, Barry Weiss writes, in the early afternoon of January 8th, the Washington Post published an open letter signed by 300 Twitter employees to Jack Dorsey demanding Trump's ban. We must examine Twitter's complicity in what President-elect Biden has rightly termed insurrection. So again, this is a public-private partnership, because you now have the office of president-elect exists. So you have an administration in waiting. You have a shadow government waiting and undermining the sitting president of the United States at the time. Remember that. Okay. So, but the Twitter,
that's so alarming, man.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. It's called a preemptive narrative. They were literally doing what it was that they were accusing the president of doing.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, that's called a preemptive narrative. And that's my coining of that term.
Narrative.
Right? Yes, a preemptive narrative means you accuse somebody, that of which you are doing. So this is kind of like Darvo, if you want to look that up. But divert, offend, attack, accuse, reverse the victim and accuser. But I call it a preemptive narrative because it works in tandem in the media space, meaning that, for example, Jim Crow 2.0. You heard them talk about that in the South, right? About voting rights, to say that voter ID is racist. That has nothing to do with Jim Crow, right? But what was Jim Crow-esque is Ibram Kendi coming out and saying, well, the only cure for racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. The only cure for past discrimination is present discrimination. He was talking about the real Jim Crow 2.0. But what they did is they threw out a preemptive narrative and applied that term to something else, or something they were doing, or something they were against, to actually shield the discrimination they're actually trying to implant in the government. So that's what the Twitterati here were doing. That's what the Biden administration was doing. While they were accusing Donald Trump and impeaching Donald Trump for Ukraine, what have we found out about the Hunter Biden laptop since then? It was all mixed up with Ukraine.
Yes.
Right? So that was a preemptive narrative. And what that does, Gary, is it makes it desensitizes you to that narrative. And that why it's harder to apply it to the person who's actually doing it. Does that make sense? Yes. My dad had, is a great way to understand. My dad had a saying where he talked about an iron. So if you take an iron and you burn your hand with it, right? That's going to hurt like the first time.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
Do it 50 times. Do it 100 times, right? Eventually, you're just
you'll build the callus and you'll be able to touch out high.
You'll kill all the nerves. That's what they did here. They killed all of the insurrection nerves, right? While trying to hide exactly what the Biden administration, who was not president yet, was literally trying to do in conjunction with Twitter by signing this letter and them invoking his name, right? Okay, number 12, Barry Weiss. But the Twitter staff assigned to evaluate tweets quickly concluded that Trump had not, I repeat, violated Twitter's policies.
No, he has not.
No, he has not. So this is what they said. I think we'd have a hard time saying this is incitement, one staffer wrote. It's pretty clear he's saying the American patriots are the ones who voted for him, and the terrorists, we can call them that, right? From Wednesday. So they were calling anybody who showed up at the Capitol terrorists, not just the very small group of people who went in.
Right.
Really very small.
All of them.
All of them that were there, terrorists, right? So another staffer agreed. Don't see the incitement angle here. So they're agreeing that he had not violated Twitter's policies. Okay. Very wise. I'm not seeing, and here's another one. I'm not seeing clear or coded incitement in the DJT tweet, wrote Annika Navaroli, a Twitter policy official. I'll respond in the elections channel and say that our team has assessed and found no violations. So they were saying that they had found no violations. She does just that. So she actually did it. Later, Navarrete would testify to a House January 6th committee. For months, I had been begging and anticipating and attempting to raise the reality that if we made no intervention into what I saw occurring, people are going to die. So she was speaking out of two ends of her mouth.
Yes,
she was speaking at it. So this Navarrete, this policy, see, again, you don't even know this person, this Navarrete person, but this is one of the people who were deciding whether or not the sitting president, was able to speak to the people directly through this platform. Next, Twitter safety team decides that Trump 7:44 at a.m. Eastern tweet is also not a violation. So they decided that both were not violations. To understand Twitter's decision to ban Trump, we must consider how Twitter deals with other heads of state and political leaders, including Iran, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. The short story there is they don't ban these people. I mean, we're talking about leaders, dictators that have done mass, I'm trying to use the word that won't get me knocked down on YouTube. Harming
do a lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad
stuff, and they don't knock them down.
No.
Like right here, the former Malaysian prime minister said it was a right for Muslims to hurt millions of French people. Still on Twitter. All of these basically dictators, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, still on Twitter, right? Twitter blocks accounts in India, but all these people were still left on Twitter after saying these horrible things. Less than 90 minutes after Twitter employees had determined that Trump's tweet were not in violation of Twitter policy, Vijaya Gadde, Twitter's head of legal policy and trust, asked whether it could, in fact, be coded incitement to further violence. So keep this in mind. All of the Twitterati, all of the people going on here had said, Gary, there's no violation. And then the head, now this is the person that was on Rogan with Tim Pool. Remember that episode, right? This is her saying, we're going to find a way. And so basically what happens throughout this. Yep. A few minutes later, Twitter employees on the scaled enforcement team suggest that Trump's tweet may have violated Twitter's glorification of violence policy. Look at this tag. Thanks for that.
And a lousy super chat.
That's a lousy super chat? Dude, come over to my channel.
I appreciate you, love.
Hey, come over to my channel and drop $5 tag. I'll never call you a super chat lousy. Right? I'm live on my channel right now too, brother.
Ryan?
You go, buddy? Come on. You can come over to the Unwokeable, channel and you drop $5. You drop two. Wikipedia snippet. Hello. Yes. That's one of mine.
Yes, but tag, we love you, baby. We love you. Oh my God. I'm going to be real talk. I am very, very frustrated with this stuff. I am very frustrated with it.
Yeah, you should be.
It's because this was a long journey, man, and to get to this point, and I mean, yeah, it's great that it's coming out. It's finally coming out. It's great and wonderful and all everything, but the damage done, man. Like the damage is
Yeah.
heavily done. Right?
I'm
It's
so
a lot
glad
of
you said
work,
that, Gary.
man. It's a lot of
I'm
work.
so
I
glad
don't
you
know
said
what
that though.
like.
But here's the thing. This is what pisses me off about this. First of all, they're dropping most of this stuff. They're dropping most of it on like Friday and Saturday. This one came out Monday, okay? But most of it's like
Mm-hmm,
Friday, Saturday night, which is like where
mm-hmm,
news goes to die. And they wonder why NBC, CBS, and ABC aren't covering it, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is weird. But the other part about it, as a musician, classical musician, I'm a conductor, right? We have this saying, the right note at the wrong time is still the wrong note. All
Right.
right. All of this information does not matter now. All it
No, it
does is
doesn't. It's too late.
confirm.
Yeah.
Right. It's too late.
It's too late.
Right. It's too late. All it does is confirm what we already knew. It pisses
I mean,
us
yeah,
off. I mean, it's good
mm.
that we need to know exactly what happened, all right? And hopefully, they're talking about, Elon's talking about with Fauci, which we can get into in a minute. There
Yo,
will be
this piece of
there.
trash.
These people lied to Congress, Gary. They lied
Yes,
to
they did.
Congress.
Yes, they did. I watched that video many times when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, and I'm sitting here like, yo, man, bruh, I had nothing else better to do but to watch that damn thing and watch this fool. Well, I wouldn't call him a fool, but watch him lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was intense, man, because it was like, what you get this helpless feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Helpless feeling while you watching your bank account dwindle after years and years of breaking your ass to build it up to that particular point where you can finally just step out and walk away from wherever. You know what I mean? You want to
Right.
leave, you want to move,
Just
whatever,
take a
and you're
breath.
sitting. No. I was trying to relocate. I wanted to relocate. I was originally going to move to Florida. My wife and I, we was going to originally move to Florida, but it didn't happen that way. But we were saving for years to move to Florida. And that one moment, I'm sitting here watching my money dwindle. I'm selling things just to make sure it was, and then you sit here and you listen all this stuff coming out, and you like, this was a lie.
Yeah.
This was an absolute lie. And I'm sitting here talking to my friends about this, telling them what I'm dealing with, and they didn't want to believe me. I kid you not. I'm saying, look at what they're doing to me. You're seeing what they're doing to me firsthand. You're seeing it. No, it's not true. It's just you. Da, 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 da. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. How can you not see this? People were so blind, they didn't want to believe it. They wanted to accept it for what it is. And now everybody see, yeah, this was kind of crappy. This was ridiculous. It was a lie. It was an absolute lie.
Yeah.
And it destroyed families. So many people lost their lives. So many people took their lives because of it. It was so much that went on in this environment. And he's still up on. I really hope they go after him. I really hope they go after him. I hope they go after him.
They've got to go after Section 230, and they've got to revamp that, because here's the thing.
Now, what is Section 230 for those who may not know? Like how does that work?
Section 230 is a provision that allows it's actually strange. It allows, so like a platform like Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
It allows for publishing of content by other people without that platform taking responsibility for that published content, meaning that I can say something on Twitter that incites violence, right? Or on YouTube, but I can be held responsible for that, but they cannot.
Not YouTube,
right?
Right.
But what because of the way 230 is written and the way that it is structured, it enables them to serve as both editor and platform. Does that make sense?
Right.
So they get the protection and get to silence people all the way. So people that talk about a repeal of Section 230, I'm against that, because Section 230 needs to be revamped, because without it, you lose YouTube, you lose Twitter, you lose your ability to build your own voice. But what they need to lose is their protections. If they're going to act as editor, right, then they need to be held accountable as editor, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too, basically. And so there needs to be a deep dive by very smart people in how to structure that provision in order to protect people's First Amendment rights. Or you just need people in charge like Elon Musk, who are going to just go in and say, look, you all moderate yourselves. Unless it's illegal, I'm not taking you down.
Right. That's what you say, what you want to say. Get your licks in, because the licks are going to come. You know what I'm saying? You're going to say something stupid, a crap ton of people going to let you know you said something stupid. And it's okay. That's how we learn. You know what I mean? It's just words. Don't get over it. Ain't nobody. But then they made it. They turned to physical. That's the problem. I'm like, you don't want to bring that over here, man. I wouldn't.
Right. Well, and you're always. Here's the thing. You're always going to have stupid people doing stupid things. But what we don't need is a schoolyard mom. A schoolyard mom telling us what we can and can't say in writing.
I can't not stand that. How are you going to tell me what to say? What to say? How can you tell? No, that was a great comment. He was saying basically, you're trying to close the barn doors after the horse left. It's like it's too late for that. You can't close it now. The horse is gone. So, but yes, this is where 230 is coming into play. They are allowed to basically censor us and silence us, and still have the protections just in case we say something foolish.
But I agree with Jason Ryan here. Jason, this is a great
18
comment.
Years old, huh? Okay, go ahead. You want to read it?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, if Texas passes that law that says only 18-year-olds can access social media sites, what that would be groundbreaking. I think that's a great idea.
Here's the thing. Let me tell you this story. So the TikTok, right, or the China's version of TikTok. We all know that China owns TikTok, right? But there's a Chinese version of TikTok. At 14 and below, everyone 14 and below only is allowed 40 minutes a day on TikTok. And the videos are relegated to math, patriotic videos, and science.
Yes.
They did a poll, right, of American kids and what they want to be when they grow up, and Chinese kids and what they want to be when they grow up. Chinese kids, 80%, 85%, what do they want to be? Astronauts. American kids, what do they want to be? Social media influencers.
Yep.
That's the difference, because we have no boundaries for our kids here for the internet, which I think is just insanity.
The only boundary that you have is the only boundary that you should have and do need is the parents. That's the only boundary you need. I don't think that you should have to, censor kids like that. Parents should just step up and be parents. But unfortunately, a lot of parents are so damn busy, they have no time to really take care of their kids properly. They can't raise their kids properly because they're too busy paying for stuff that they can't afford. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. That's where our country is. We're consumer based. There is not. Is not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, they're going to make it even worse with what's going on with these electric cars, right? So we can't build the electric cars here, but we are supposed to drive them. That makes perfect sense, right? We can't build them, which is going to create jobs, but
no, we have to take away jobs by building. We'll get into that in just 1 second, but I wanted to say
let's continue.
Is that
but I'm just saying.
What I think we've got out of the Twitter file here. We don't need to go through every little thing.
Because right now, at the end of the day, we all know that this stuff is old news. We already knew this stuff. It's just that we didn't know how deep it was. You know what I'm saying? We already knew it.
But here's the thing that we need to end this part of the conversation on. NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC.
Nobody's reporting
all of these. Now, why? Because the people who need to know are the ones watching their shows. And so they're not reporting on it, because this goes into what I talk about a lot, which is the attempted bifurcation or separation or division of the United States of America. It's done by making us speak different languages or be on different platforms or be with different groups of, see what I'm saying? The Tower of Babel, making us speak different languages, right? The people who are on Truth are not on Twitter. The people who are on Facebook aren't on Twitter. The people who are watching NBC aren't watching Fox News. the constant bifurcation. We're living in different countries.
Yes.
Just we have no walled borders. We have digital borders.
Yes.
Right? Used to be all of us sat down and watched, Seinfeld or Friends or, the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. We've got none of that anymore, man. We got none of it. We are being divided. Frasier. I love Frasier.
I miss Frasier. Right? They were so good. I love that damn show.
That was the golden age, man. No, I'm just saying that's why you got to share videos like ours.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, subscribe, share the channels. Both of us, if you're watching right now, but don't share it with a friend who agrees with you. Mm-hmm. Share it with somebody who that doesn't. That's because that's how we actually break down these walls. The reason why nobody is throwing up arms about this is because those people just don't know.
They don't know
because their information sources are not reporting.
Is it that they don't know or they don't care?
I bet. Here's the thing. Remember the Hunter Biden laptop? I think we talked about it on last show. 10 to 15% of the country stated that if they would have known about that, they would have changed their vote. That's the difference between a President Biden and a President Trump.
Yeah.
Right?
10%.
And so you don't need, there's always going to be a subset that are just going to be diehard. They're not going to think they're diehard blue. No matter what, they hate Trump. There's going to be that. That's 10, 15, 20%. Then there's 10, 15, 20% on the other side, right? It's the people in the middle that I do believe if you showed them the actual evidence, which is what this is, they would change. They would change.
Put up
Byron's
8899 comment. Put that up. I want you to answer that question. Those questions.
What happens if you question the radicals? Do you believe in double standards? Do I believe in double standards? Is that what you're asking? What happens if you question the radicals? Do you believe in double standards? Or if you ask them that question.
What happens?
I don't believe in double standards.
If you question the radicals, do you believe in the double standards? What do you think a radical will say if you ask them that question? I think that's how he's going at that.
The woke have two rule books, and they don't care about hypocrisy. That's what you've gotten over the last 2 or 3 years, is that the right, and I'm going to speak in this in terms I really don't like using, but I'm going to use right and left right now, because you have the woke left and you really do have a woke right, which I get into later. But you have, talking about this time, 2020, right? You had a woke right, or you had a woke left and a right in terms of the way that politics were. And the Republicans or the Trump people were so incensed over the hypocrisy of the fact that there was a 3-hour incident at the Capitol, right? And the whole world was going to end. Like, everybody threw down the gauntlet, and it's the worst thing that's ever happened. It's the worst attack since 1812, all these things. Knowing that the summer of love for 6 months during COVID, St. John's Church burned down just down the road, by the way, from the Capitol during the George Floyd riots, during all of that. The hypocrisy was the point. So they do believe in double standards. They believe what applies to them, what applies to you doesn't apply to them. That's how they beat you. That's a dialectical trick. That is a manipulation.
They want you to control. They want you to control yourself while they do whatever the hell they want. And that's why I said, to hell with you, Nancy. To hell with you, Karen. To hell with you, all of you. I'm not following you no more. I did that for 39, 40 years, trying to be a good boy, trying to be a good good citizen, and that's what they'll say to you. Be a good citizen, do your job, play your taxes, Federal Reserve is not really nothing to do with the damn Federal Reserve, you know what I'm saying? It's a privately owned bank, you know what I'm saying? All that crap going on. So I'm saying, like, I'm doing my part, but my part is killing me and causing everybody else to go through the same problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Epstein doesn't pay his taxes, but man, they'll come after you for $1, over a Venmo
they will come after you.
transaction.
They will come after you
For $600. They will come after you. And there's 2 rule books. And the hypocrisy, your outrage about the hypocrisy is the point. That's what drives you nuts. I believe if you're going to talk, I don't agree with what happened at January 6th. Obviously, stupid people did stupid things, but they used that incident.
The more we talk about it and the more we see what's going on, the less I feel that way, man.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Maybe they know what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I saw people snapping pictures. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. I
saw people walking in the front door, being let in by the cops. But
that's what I saw. Snapping pictures.
Right. But here's the thing: stupid people did do stupid things. Whether you want to talk about the guy who went up and stole with the horns, and stupid people did stupid things, right? But it was not what they made it out to be, and they used that incident. It was one of my first interactions with James Lindsay on Twitter, which him and I are pretty good friends, was talking about this incident and equating it to, yes, Ray Epps, Jason Ryan, yes, equating it to the Reichstag fire. And what Hitler did with the Reichstag fire is that I still don't think that they know who started that fire. It could have been an actual communist. It could have been one of Hitler's people, but it didn't matter who started the fire. It's the important thing is what they did with that incident. And what they did with the incident was use that as a pretext to attack a group of people. And that is what the Democrats did for the 2 years, all the way up to the January 6th commission, to attack people, not just the former president, not just, Paul Manafort and these other people, right? But there are still people who are sitting in jail without due process right now because of that.
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely anti-American. And they use that incident to do it. And I'm fine. I think what is good about the Twitter situation, before we move on, because we do need to talk about this electric car situation, because I think, but what we must understand, what is good about the Twitter files, because there's nothing we can do about it, is that we have confirmation ironclad to now go back and say, let those people go. We know and to say this is the lie that got the people to this point.
Listen, not only should we let these people go like yesterday, we need to make sure it never happens again.
How do we do that, Gary?
I don't know, but we're gonna have to figure it out, because that should never happen again. No due process. How long has it been? No due process. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Well, but really? I mean, that's happened to people. But go ahead.
It shouldn't be happening. That's the point.
That's right.
It shouldn't be happening. That's right.
It's like we were talking about the other day on the show with Project 46 and Andrew Spano, talking about the death penalty, right? It's there to take someone's life, which is final, right? And I think there are situations where that warrant that. Don't get me wrong, okay? But to make that the common practice, when you're talking about taking someone's life, and science could, advance so far in 5 years that you could actually find science to prove that person didn't do what you're accusing them of, which is what's happened here in the last 10 or 15 years. Right. Nobody saw that coming. It's shed light on that situation of what is the due process. Well, you can't have due process if you take someone's life, right?
No, you can't.
You can't have that. That is the end of due process, period. Yep. And so I think the question becomes, where does due process end? Right? And it should never happen again. Neither the incident that caused the lack of due process, and the people who may have set that up and made it worse than it was, and nor the lack of due process itself. We have to make sure, and I think this is part of that, is what I'm saying, because the Republicans have the House now, so they're going to look into this, and I hope they actually grow some balls, because Republicans don't have balls. They don't. What are you yawning at?
There's no way they're gonna. They ain't had them before. They ain't gonna get them now. They're not. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And you gotta understand. they rub elbows with these people, right? So it's like they don't want they don't
It's
want the real
uniparty.
smoke. They don't want the
Right.
smoke. They like, my daughter dates him. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's get to the electric cars so we can wrap this up.
Oh, you getting tired, brother? You tired? See, I'm
No,
just getting.
actually,
I'm just.
no, I literally have to, I
Oh
have
yeah,
to
dude.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Well, do you want to? Let's see. So you wanted to show this video. You said it was at 1. Let's show this. So set us up here. What are we getting into here, Gary?
All right, so
What?
we're talking about the electric car situation. We don't have to we don't have to do that. We can even just bring up an article because they're basically saying, because Biden was saying that this was not going to cost American jobs, right? That's what he said. It wouldn't cost American jobs. Now we're shipping the jobs to Mexico.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're shipping the jobs to Mexico, right? Which is like what, 250,000 jobs that we're going to lose in America. All right. But we're supposed to drive these darn cars, right? So we're supposed to drive these cars, but we don't get to make them. So we're losing jobs to buy something we don't need.
Now hold on a second. Was because I remember some of these plants while Trump was president were coming back to America. And when we're talking about electric cars here, I mean, we're talking about Teslas, right? I mean, I know there are other electric cars being built.
GM, Toyota, whatever. We're talking about electric cars because that's supposed to be the future, right? Even though in order for you to charge your electric car, you need gasoline, you need coal, you need natural resources because we don't have the freaking infrastructure to handle these cars. We just don't have it. So we're going to still wind up using coal and fossil fuels. So what did Biden do? We'll ship the jobs to Mexico so our, EPA will look better or some crap like that. It's like that's so asinine. It's like, yo, dude, seriously. It's just, it makes no darn sense. But this is what we're dealing with now. Now we're dealing with this issue. All right. People are losing their jobs for electric cars. We already have a problem with jobs in the first place. Why do we need even more of that?
So, but what people don't realize, man, is that they're going to lose their jobs. But like truckers are that's one of the biggest employers in the country, and they keep the country moving.
Yes,
and not just in the fact that, not just the fact that they're moving goods, but the people who work as truckers. You get what I'm saying? That's that is one of the jobs still left as a blue collar worker, right? That you can, go to a 2-week, a month-long school, right? And then go and make 70, 80, 100, 200 grand a year, right? That you can do with a low education and make a good living. That's one of the few jobs left. And what they're talking about, what I'm seeing now is Tesla's coming out with a self-driving semi-truck. An automated semi-truck.
All right, so I think I remember, I can't quote, I wish I can remember the article. They went ahead and charged the truck all the way up, right? First of all, it takes days to charge this damn thing up. Days. They said they burnt the entire battery in 1 day. One.
What do you mean?
1 day. Meaning that it was out of juice. They had to recharge, and it takes 3 days to recharge it. It takes 3 days.
Oh, it took 3 days.
It takes 1 day to burn it up because of all the weight behind it. It had all the weight. It burnt the battery. So I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would we do this? But just like Tag said, it's about control. It is about control. If you can control our income, you can control us. If you can control our resources, you can control us. If you can control our food, you can control us. All this is about control. The entire thing is about control. You can't get it. You cannot change my mind on that. They want to slow down the production of the people. They want to slow it. We're moving too fast. We're catching up. I think that's the problem. We're catching up. We're becoming too smart and too hard to hold on to. All right. I think that's what's going on. Because even though they're censoring us, we're still talking. We got big mouths. Big mouth.
Yes, we do.
Mouths. We have big mouths. And we're going to keep talking. You're not going to silence me. What the hell? Me?
You may kick me off somewhere. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's
shoot. I'll be outside. I'll be outside with a billboard and freaking what are those bullhorns? You can't silence me. You cannot do it. I'll be
tell
like
you,
Steven Crowder out here. You can't silence me at all.
If they do kick us off here, Gary, that's exactly what we should do. We'll start a new channel together if they kick our channels off. And we will that will be the extent of our show for the first
that's what we're doing anyway.
3 or 4
We're
episodes.
actually doing that.
Yes.
We're actually doing that.
Yeah.
Another super chat from Tag.
Oh, Tag, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Throw that up there.
Oh, she went to the dryer this time. She went into the dryer. She found another $5 in the dryer. You know what? You got a lot of changes laying around. I need to come to your house.
Yeah.
Look under the bed, you know what I'm saying? Look under the mattress, you know. What up, Logic?
Well, super chats.
On,
hey, everybody, super chats are open on both channels. Super chats are open. We're gonna get off here in a moment, but before we do, because let me say one more thing because we got to talk about the big C, the C files here in a second. But before let me button up this whole electric car situation. I think you're right. I think that the ultimate goal is control.
Yes.
And let me take you all the way back to Cash for Clunkers. Y'all remember Cash for Clunkers?
Oh,
back in the Obama
administration? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me make a connection for you.
I participated in that back in the day too.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Wait, did I just get a super chat from MP?
Yes, you did.
Or a super sticker? All right, thank you, MP. So if I blow your mind right here, I'm going to blow your mind right now about Cash for Clunkers. If I do that, we need, 4 or 5, maybe 10 super chats. So here's the thing. You ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind.
I'm ready.
You don't realize Cash for Clunkers was about electric cars. Nobody knows this because what was it about? They said it was about the environment. They said it was about a way to get people, to bring down emission standards and all of those kinds of things, to jumpstart the economy because the automobile industry had gone in the tank because of the downturn in 2008, right? Tag, where you throwing up another one right there? Wow,
my
come
dog,
on.
My dog.
Your dog got $1.99. But here's the thing. You ready for this?
Do you have a cat? Do you have a cat? Go get the cat.
Hold on. This is going to get us some money now. If I blow your mind, super chats from everybody. All right?
Okay. Ready to go.
Cash for Clunkers. What you can't do with an electric car is work on it yourself. Right?
Yeah.
What you could do with any car before the year 2005 was work on it yourself.
Yeah.
Cash for Clunkers was a way to remove all of the cars that would have lasted 30, 40, 50 years longer because people could take care of them and switch out the parts and all of those things. It was because what part of what Cash for Clunkers did is you had to turn in the car, and what the people who took the car, the junkyards, had to agree to do was to junk the car, meaning destroy the car, not break it down for parts, not do anything. They had to crush the car, which means remove it from the road, right? That was that whole thing. It was sold to us as a way to save the automobile industry. No. It was a way to push people into buying electric cars faster so that they could control you. Because what you can do with an electric car, you can't work on it. You have to buy a new one every time it breaks, and they can shut it off from, anywhere they want to. So if you're O.J. Simpson running down the LA freeway, they hit a button, you're off on the side of the road. Cash for Clunkers was about control. It wasn't about giving you money. It wasn't about saving the environment. It wasn't about saving the auto industry. It was about removing old cars that could not be tracked because they did not have computers in them from the road, so that everybody would get newer cars.
My Mustang. I love my Mustang.
So we got $100 super chat. We have $100 super chat from Eric Blomquist. Oh, we need a button to push or something. I told you, if I blow your mind, see, I've got information. Brother.
Yes.
I've got $100 information.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
yes, you do.
So, but
congrats, sir.
So if I blew your mind right now, I need to see some. Thank you, Eric Blomquist, for the $100 super chat. I don't know. I'm gonna stay on here and just look at you for this. Thank you, but here's the thing, man. That is how systemic the control has been. Okay, that is how much forethought. I just put out a video and I might show it here at the end. Said we wind down. I just made. James Lindsay and I were on the phone, and I made these 2 videos about the systemic way that the WEF and the global people high atop the thing have been in plans in 1972 to do all of this stuff. This is not an accident. Cars for Clunkers wasn't an accident. Obamacare was a way to grab the medical industry and make it a public-private partnership to fuse private and public together. They're trying to do that with schools now. They're trying to do it with the auto industry. They're trying to do it with every section because that is how they remove your sovereignty.
Yep.
That is how they remove your ability to make your own decisions. And
here's the thing. I want to ask you this. How do we avoid this trap for our children? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. It's over for me. Okay. I got a good 40 years left. It's over for me. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got.
Yeah, you got some life left in you, brother.
Well, 40 years to try. It's going to take a lot longer than 40 years to fix this. You feel me? A lot longer than 40 years. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is that what can we start? Because see, this is a long game. We can't be talking about, what I'm going to do tomorrow. No, we need to start focusing on not next quarter, the next 50 to 100 years from now. If we keep on this truck and we keep doing this in 100 years from now, where will we be? We'll be eating bugs, right? We'll be eating
you will
bugs.
Own nothing and be happy.
We'll be eating bugs, right? We'll be doing our thing with toys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's what they're trying to push, toys. We will be talking to one another just like this, right? This is what, and we'll be sitting here, no testosterone,
or we'll have implants in our
protein,
brains,
nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? So, what can we do to try to not have this happen? How can we slowly change this back around? Is it possible? Is it anything we can do to just start doing that?
What we have to do is butt plugs.
Why do you have to? Hey.
What is it? You got to keep this chat clean now.
But you just said it. You said it. You ain't
I know, but I'm sorry. That just when you see something like that, I'm gonna put back up this $100 super chat from Eric.
Did you see? Sorry. Did you see me say the
No, I know, but it just sometimes I have Tourette's and I see things and I say it. So, Mean Richard, come on now. Come on, you can't be doing that to me. You owe us a super chat for that, Mean Richard. That's at least a $3 super chat. I'm a fleece you, right? $3. Somebody paid $3 for that, for making me say that on the channel.
No, he ain't make you say nothing. That was on you.
No, I'm blaming other people. That's what we do now. That's what we do now, Gary. We got $1.99 for super chat. There you go. I'm putting this one back up though. Thank you, Tag, for the $1.99 super chat.
But say that again. What were you saying again?
Okay, what we need to do is there has to be a full sale. We have to attack the root of the problem. What I say, the root of the problem is the university system and this system called environmental social governance that is implanted in the universities to create this research institutes that are literally doing all of this stuff. Because we have a class of people, whether it's Democrat or Republican, actually it's a uniparty. They fight against each other to get us fighting with each other, but really they're working on the same team. Know that. And they think they have to compete with a dictatorial government coming out of China that does not care about its people, right? That views them as nothing more than human capital. And what America is starting to do is to imbibe some of what they call their stakeholder capitalism, which is basically just communo-fascism. That's what it is. It's a removal of the people from the means of production, but it's also a removal of the people from goals in life, right? Communism removes you from your what makes you want to get up in the morning and do better, right? So they will put you in a caste system. That's what all this stuff does. They're going to test you at a young age with SEL. They're going to put you from pre-K all the way through college, and they're going to indoctrinate you with hey, you need to get a workforce-related job. You need to put this on this. And if you can't do any of that stuff, we're going to ply you up with SSRIs and, antidepressants, or, now, smoke is becoming legal. All this stuff causes you amotivational syndrome, right? They're going to apply you with what Yuri Harari at the WF calls drugs and video games, and keep you in your house, away from other people, section you off, and that is your station in life. You have no hope to raise out of it. What we have to do is attack that process, which is where it's being birthed, is at the university system. Republicans, conservatives, anybody left of, anybody right of Mao right now needs to be attacking the educational industrial complex and dismantle that, because it has been taken over by a globalist organization, or a web of organizations that want to do nothing more than make you an apparatus to put money in their pocket. That's it. And they do not care about you as an individual. So we have to first stop fighting with each other. We have to understand that the things like even this Twitter stuff coming out, we have to understand that that is just the distraction. These people work like magicians. You know what I mean? Is that they do the sleight of hand over here. Hey guys, look over here, but they're doing the trick over here with this hand, right? So every single time you see something come up in the news, stop, look at it for a second. If it looks like BS, it probably is. And then look at what nobody else is looking at. Look at all the boring stuff, because that's how they're getting you. And then highlight that. And I'll tell you right now, as somebody who's done that
before, boring stuff. You're absolutely right. The boring stuff.
But as somebody who's done that to the establishment just recently, they will come after you when you do that. They will come after you both right and left and try to discredit you. They'll try to destroy you. They'll try to take you down. They will try to handle you. They will try to take over your audience. They'll try to get you banned, right? So know that that's coming, but that's what if enough of us did that all at the same time, you know what I mean? If enough of us didn't look at just what was the bright, shiny thing and started looking at the boring stuff, like what's happening in your universities right now, that's how we would stop it. Is if we stop getting just distracted by the magic trick that's designed to distract.
The shiny stuff.
Yep. Which is the video I put out today. I'm going to throw that up here so everybody can see it. Or go to it. It actually outlines exactly what is happening in the university, using the University of Oklahoma as the example. And this is Red State. Oklahoma is one of the most woke global universities in the world. And this video proves it, because I use their own words to do it. And so you can go look at that. It sounds boring, but if you watch it, it's really not boring. Everything that Gary and I just talked about when it comes to self-driving cars and removing you from your job, right? Or lying to you to take down a president of the United States, or, all of the above, right? All of those things are happening because of what I just posted in the chat here, which is the takeover your universities using research and the blending of all these things with social science to eventually what they call is human machine teaming. And I'm using the actual words. You can go look at it to YouTube before you knock me down for misinformation. This is in the research verticals for OU. They're literally outlining what the WEF says.
And this is OU that's doing this, huh?
The University of Oklahoma.
Wow.
And if it's happening here, imagine what's going on at Harvard. Imagine what's going on at, Yale. Imagine what's going on at, whatever university in Shenzhen, China. Like, we have to actually see what it is we're against and stop being against each other, right? What you and I may disagree with.
I think we're onto something. We've been onto something for a very, very long time. I think we're doing something wonderful. Elon is doing stuff. You got True Social out there. conservatives are doing some things. You know what I'm saying?
We're getting
The
there.
Rumble is coming up. We're working hard. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a long, drawn out fight. I knew it. It's not. It's going to be a long, drawn out fight. But I'm in it to win it, right? I'm in it.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we are going to have to accept that they're just not going to listen to us. Fortunately, we don't need them to. See, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. We don't need them to listen. The same way they don't need us to listen, we don't need to listen to them, right? Eventually, they'll get sick and tired of getting robbed. They'll get sick and tired of getting their freaking windows blown out by somebody trying to take their loose change. Eventually, they'll get sick and tired of their car breaking down and having to buy a new one. Eventually, they'll get tired of that stuff. I honestly believe that I think the Midwest, I think the South, I think we're going to figure it out. We are some hard working people here. We're hard working people, and all we know how to do is to work with our hands and do right by each other. So I truly believe we will figure it out on our front. The thing that I think that's going to be the most deterring aspect is, unfortunately, we are very caring people. We are very patient people. We are very calm and understanding people. We want to understand you, right? We want to accept you. That's just our nature. This is where it's been hard for me, cutting people out of my lives. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part. We're gonna have to learn how to say, you know what, I can't talk to you. I was actually in a chat in TikTok, and I was trying to listen to what these ladies were saying, and I got some pieces. I got some information that actually helped me out, like the whole female thing. I didn't know women didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Or at least I know black women don't.
You mean being called females?
Yeah, they don't like being called females. I ain't know that because they ain't never tell me that they had a problem with it. So I was in this chat, they was talking, they said they hate the word female. They don't like being called female. I said, I don't have to call you a female. Who cares? I can call you a woman. They also don't like the word submission. And if you read the definition of submission, I understand where they're coming from, because I wouldn't want to submit to somebody either, even though that's what we do every day. I still get where they're coming from when it comes down to that. But they said something that I couldn't handle. And I said, and it's not that I couldn't handle. I just said, you know what? This person's absolutely off the rocker. I don't even want to be I don't want to even be part of it. So I left. I got out of the chat and I left because they were trying to handle me with the words we's and us and ours. Right. And then when people when people start saying we's, us, and ours while they're trying to create a rule for you that you must follow, that's when I check out. I said,
and everyone should check out right then.
You're saying that I need to follow your rules. Well, let me just tell you this quite clearly. I am my own man, always been my own man, always will be my own man. I'll be damned. I didn't follow my mom rules. Why would I follow yours? You know what I'm saying? I'm not following your rules. Are you kidding me? You don't pay none of my bills, because I got that mentality too. I'm like, you don't pay none of my bills. You don't do nothing for me. I'm not following your rules. What I would do is just leave. I'm not having a conversation because I don't need to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to draw the line. I don't need to have a conversation with you. I can have a conversation with my alderman. I can have a conversation with the people that I elected. Those are the people that I should be having a conversation with. I don't have to have it with you. And if you have such a problem with my kid doing this, that, and the third, or believing in God or whatever, if that's what you have a problem with, no problem. I'll take him out of your school and put him in a private school.
Yeah.
Nothing stopping me. There's nothing stopping you from taking control back. The issue is they do have these government systems set into play to stifle you. That's where we lost our grip on our country. We went to sleep and we stayed asleep too dang long. It's time for us to get inside of these places and start working them out. It's going to be a lot of work. Some people ain't going to want to be bothered with it. Like, this is annoying, but we got to do the work because our kids are going to be left here. I don't get to play video games.
Yep.
Mark, I don't get to play video games. I love video games. I don't get to play video games because those boys in there, they will not inherit this without me fighting.
Yep.
This is absolutely
you have to set the example. You have to set the example, and you have to be what it is that you want your kids to be. And that's always hard. You're always going to fall short. You're always going to fall short because we're human beings. But let me just make this point. As you just came here from New Jersey, right?
Yes.
So let me just give you this little piece. Oklahoma is the front line of all of this, and nobody realizes it. They think it's the blue states. It's not, because the blue states are gone, right? We're going to have to get those back. The front line is here because the left is trying to take over and do the same thing to the red states that they did to the blue states of the last 30 years. And what you have to understand, and what anybody who moves here, is that is not as good as you think it is, because there's a lot of liars out there. Now, there are good people too, but our job, this is what I say my job is, so I'll speak for me. My job is to point out the problems. My job is to say, hey guys, because there's a lot of Oklahomans are really, they like to be nice, right? And I'm a nice person. You've met me in person. I ain't mean, right? But when it comes to the people I've elected to do something, do not lie to me. If you lie to me, I'm going to tell everybody you lied to me. I'm going to tell everybody you lied to them. Right? Don't say you saved women's sports and then put in the little byline at the bottom of it that you can actually have, people change the status of their biological sex. Don't tell me that. Don't lie to your constituents. Don't lie to us, because that's how Oklahoma becomes California. That's how Oklahoma becomes New Jersey. And it's this niceness, it's this weaponization of our empathy that got the blue states where they're at, and that could dangerously, very quickly get Oklahoma, Kansas, Mississippi, Missouri, all of these red states very quickly down that road, because people living in the Midwest think it could never happen to them. And I'm going to tell you right now, it absolutely can, and it is. And it's happening in your universities first. And then, we're going after the school boards. Great. We're going after some of the, the people who are doing the things at the bottom, but those are just the fires, man. The inferno's up. And it's always in the managerial class, and they use teachers, they use cops, they use anybody else as human shields to keep from having to take their own responsibility, right? For what it is that they are doing as managers, as the people who implement policy. So this is my advice. You asked me earlier, how do we stop this? You hold everybody accountable that you elect, whether you like them or not. You read every word of every bill. You do it with a friend, and you say, okay, did this official actually do what it is that they said they were going to do? And then you keep up with it, because like you said, we abandoned it by being lethargic, by just assuming that what we voted for was going to happen. Well, we now have learned our lesson, and we need to be hyper vigilant about every word that's written on our behalf, every word that is voted into law on our behalf, and every executive who enforces it. If we do not, and we have to hold their feet to the fire, whether we voted for them or not, whether we like them or not, whether they're our brother's friend or not, whether they, we have business with them or not, because I'm going to tell you right now, they will nickel and dime you out of your freedom. They will nickel and dime you out of your liberty.
They will.
They will sell you. They will sell you. You will be nothing more than human capital. And it's not just in blue states. The fight's here. So I'm glad you're here, Gary. I'm glad you're here, because I think you and I can build an apparatus to help do this.
I want to say something. And I've been meaning to say this for a long time. We need to get an offline thing going. I want tag. I want cyber. I want everybody. Now we got to do this. We got to do this. We know offline,
and
like
Nick,
literally offline, like literally go
Eric,
down to Oklahoma City, pop a couple of bottles, play some video games, laugh at each other, get drunk and say, she's a little drunk, F you. We need all that. I want to see people I want to see some people get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to mingle with one another. What do we got to do to put that together? Like what do we have to do to just say?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I started this group, and I because I broke the story about OU underage transition surgeries that went national and all that. And that's how I got on Tim Pool, by the way. It's how I got on Timcast. And and right before I went on Timcast, I started this group, and I'm getting it off the ground. It's called Fathers Defending Daughters. Really, it's Fathers Defending Kids. And because you have Moms for Liberty, right? And we all love Moms for Liberty. What the society has, and I'm not excluding females from this, okay? From the group you're talking about. But I think we have to have some masculine energy on this fight, because there's
Yes,
a
we
reason
do.
why there's a reason why they have tried to make masculinity a pejorative or
Hmm.
demonizing term, is because men are hard to fight with. Fathers are hard to fight with.
I'm
You know what I
impossible to
mean?
fight with.
Exactly.
I'm
But
impossible. You can't.
because
If
there's
no,
something that comes with being a man when you're coming after my kid, my wife, my family.
let me tell you
Uh,
something. Let me tell you
no,
something.
no, no. You know what I mean?
When
Like,
Miss Lamb calls me up and say we need your daddy, I goes
mm-hmm.
in.
Yep,
I
that's
know
right.
she needs me to drop the hammer. She done did what she
Mm-hmm.
could. She needs me to drop the hammer. I'm dropping the hammer. When I go in there, I don't have you're not my friend. I don't give a damn what your position is. I don't care how much you taught. You are talking about my son.
Yep,
That's it.
that's
That's
right.
it. We
That's
want
my flesh
solutions.
and blood.
We want
And here's the
solutions. I
thing.
don't give a damn about your problem. What's the solution?
Nope. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what it comes down to. Is that what that's what men do? That I think
Mm-hmm.
that just the difference between men and women is, when I get into an argument with my wife, who's the sweetest, most beautiful person, she's 8 months pregnant. Super chats are welcome. But she's 8 months pregnant right now, and she's the most sweetest. She wants to talk about the problem. I want to
Mm-hmm.
solve it. You know what I
You want to
mean?
solve it.
Like it's like I will listen to her. I will try my best to be the shoulder to cry on, right? But I want to fix the problem. That's what men do, right? We build things, we
Mm-hmm.
fix things. That's how our brains are wired. And
Yes.
and when you don't have that kind of masculine energy in the process, not taking over the process, you got to have both sides of this. God created man and woman for a reason, right?
Yes.
It's to complement each other. You've got to have that initiative to say, no, I'm not just going to go after the little fires. I actually want to solve the problem.
You got to solve the problem. We'll keep putting the fires out there. But
Yeah,
listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to figure out how to do something. Somebody said Buffalo Wild Wings and more. I like that idea.
I can do
All
that.
right.
It's right up
So
there. Yep.
I like that idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to set something up, right? And we're going to actually
Mm-hmm.
put together like a Google Calendar or something like that, and just make a date and just show up. All right. We're going to do that. But listen, we got to go. We're 30 minutes over time, and my wife has to go to sleep. So
Okay.
we have to get up out of here. Yo, I love everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the super
Yes.
chats.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you for
super
the
chats.
conversation. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. We're going to do this all the time now. We got a partnership. I've been waiting for a partnership. I've been waiting for
Mm-hmm.
somebody that had the balls to go hard like you, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're
Well.
going to get some more
Well.
guests up here. Yo, let's talk about, you know what? We're going to come off. Yo, we love you. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
What you got
guys.
anything
We
coming? You got anything
appreciate you.
coming? You got anything coming?
To I think I've got an episode coming tomorrow with a friend of mine. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
exactly sure the time, but it's on the channel. I think
Mm-hmm.
anytime that Gary and I can get on together, we're going to. So just know that we're going to usually plan on being not in the early evening, late evening, even if we have to do it at 2 a.m, like Gary was the other night. I'm a night owl
Yeah.
too. So be watching for us, but we're going to try to make stuff more on a schedule,
Mm-hmm.
so you know when to watch for us. But I've got a few things. Be watching here in the next week or two. If you know James Lindsay, he's a friend of mine. He's doing a book tour. I'm trying to get him on the channel, which will be a nice big
Okay.
thing. He's got a new
Oh,
book
that'd be
out
awesome.
called The Marxification of Education. That is awesome, and maybe we'll get him on with Gary too. Or I'm trying to get him in studio, Project 46.
Yes.
And
That'd be
so,
better. That'd be much
mm-hmm,
better.
mm-hmm.
We can show off the
So
studio.
yep, yep. And Gary and I are always. I think we're going to be on Friday, but we'll talk about this. We'll be in studio some other time this week, maybe with Kevin Batts. So yeah, just keep watching our channels. We're going to get on a schedule, but just hit the
Brian, I
bell.
haven't seen you in a long time. What's up, man?
Hit the bell so you know when we come on. That's the
Yes.
thing too. Both of
You
our
know what? We need to
channels.
get it.
Both
We
of
need to
our
get an
channels.
email thing going, because that's the only real way to make sure they get everything is with an
Yeah,
email blast. But
yeah.
listen, we
We'll
love
set
you
that up.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
This is
guys.
Gary Lamb signing off. You guys have a good one.
I'm welcome. See you.